Good. Okay, we are live. How are you, Lee?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm just going to say thanks because we're going to use this as a preamble, but I'll say thank you very much for doing a pre-recording with us and Seven Spot with regard to your experience building a car.
Wow.
and
How long have we got?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sitting there looking at it. It's awesome. But I think that what we wanted to talk about, and we've chatted about it, online, is about, I guess, hitting the wall in a way, because in my own experience, I've never built a car before. I just wanted a project to do with my kids. I was going through a divorce, and I didn't want to have them kind of attached, if you will. I want to have them give a detachment, give them something to work forward to, because both of them wanted to be in trade school, and both of them one wanted to get into aircraft trades, structural aircraft structures, and the other one wanted to become an auto mechanic. And both are successful. They both found their way into the trades. But yours is a different experience, and yours is more from a more involved, more professional approach. You've had other sevens, and you've gone ahead and built this vehicle for the purposes of competing, right?
Yeah, a bit of both, really. I mean, I started off, I bought my first kit car back in probably 2009, maybe. And I dived into something really that I had no experience with. I wanted a motorbike. My dad talked me out of it. And I ended up going to see an old Tiger Cat E1, and bought it straight away. Drove it and bought it straight away, having no experience at all in them. No background in mechanics of the car or anything. I just bought it because I liked the look of it. And what I realised then was that it was probably thrown together. And that's where I started the journey, really, which was the journey of discovering and learning a hell of a lot very quickly. Which becomes quite addictive. Needless to say, long story short, I got rid of that car and upgraded to one of the Tiger R6. Now, it's a Tiger R6, but it had a Zetec engine in it. And it was built by a guy named Gary Davison, who used to race in a Tiger series. And I think I owned that car for 8 years. And I'll tell you now, on one hand, the problems I had with that car, there was probably 3 in all that time. And I was clocking up during them 8 years, maybe between 5, 6, 7,000 miles a year. It was perfect. It was an old car, but it was put together really well. I didn't need to do much myself. But the 3 things that went wrong were very simple things. I had a snapped accelerator cable, snapped clutch cable, and a ball joint go. I did a lot of upgrading as well during my ownership of that car, as you do. You buy a car and you want better things on the car when you've got a little bit of spare cash. Then I got to the stage where I thought, right, I've driven it on the roads, I've been to the Alps, I've been to Switzerland, been to Italy, been all over Europe in it. I thought, right, let's give a hand at some racing. So that's when I decided to get my license, UK license, and do some hill climbing. I did a few hill climbs in that car. It was quite successful. I did a couple at Shelsley Waltz, which is very famous in the UK. And that's where I got hooked on that. Once I drove that car a few times on the track, I realised that I could drive it very well. And I'd got to the stage where I was at probably at the limit of my capability with that car. So I thought it was time to upgrade. And as you said, I sold a house and I bought a new car. And this is it.
Yeah,
this is what I spec'd. So the plan for this came to mind. It's got to be now 2018, Christmas 2018, I think it was. It was supposed to be built around about April 2019, ready for the race season. But unfortunately, due to a myriad of different problems with the factory build and issues with things with the car. It was delayed. So I ended up taking collection of the car January 2020. And unfortunately, since then, I've been very lucky, and I've taken it out. I looked at the clock the other day, and I think I've done about 650 miles in it. I've done some track work in it as well, testing it. But I've just had a lot of issues with the car. And I think I sent you an Excel spreadsheet with a list of things on there. And, there's got to be 20, 25 different things that have gone wrong with this car. Some of it unlucky, some of it probably down to the fact that it's been built. Things need tightening up, things need a bit of time to wear in. But I think after about the fourth or fifth item that went wrong, that's when I started to get a little bit fed up. And same with any car, and you're probably the same, and a lot of the guys that are probably watching this are. Every time you have a car and something goes wrong, you just get to the stage where you're like, why did I buy this? Why am I head in my hands sat at the table, absolutely devastated that there's something's gone wrong with this car, another car, a previous one, and it just gets really demoralizing. But there's part of it where you fix something. Then I think one of the first issues I had with this car was some of the relays went wrong, and because I didn't wire the car up myself, I found it really difficult to trace where the fault was. And I think I spent 2 weeks searching around the car trying to figure out what the problem was, and it turns out it was an intermittent fault with one of the relays. But it took me about 2 weeks to figure that out. And when I figured it out, I was absolutely belated. And I think that that feeling of accomplishing something on the car, and like, right, I'm ready to go again. We're ready to test it again. Let's get back out.